So guys, over here with a quick guide on Deadmines dungeon for WoW Classic Hardcore. If you are Alliance, you have a handful of quests there, some of which are completed outside of the Deadmines. If you want to complete this quest, be sure before running into the actual dungeon, clear this undead zone. Dungeon itself is very straightforward. The recommended levels are 18 to, I would say, 23. If you go below 18, it's gonna be a bit sketchy at the end of the dungeons, where the mobs are at level 20 and the last boss is actually level 21. First boss is the Ogre. He patrols slightly, so when he comes closer to you, you can actually pull him, and this way you avoid fighting him alongside two of his adds. He doesn't really do much, he just knocks down your tank from time to time with a heavy hit, and that's it. Once you finish him off, you can kill his adds and move forward. Trash is very easy in the dungeon, it doesn't really do much. There are some casters, you can obviously interrupt those to make it even easier, but there are pretty much no deadly casts in the dungeon. Second boss is the Goblin on Shredder, and in this room there are a lot of regular goblin mobs. I recommend clearing those before you actually engage the boss, so you don't have to fight any unwanted mobs during the actual boss fight. The boss itself doesn't really do much, it's just gonna shred your tank from time to time. Once you get shredded down, the goblin on it will jump down this need, and you will have to take him down as well. As you can see, in this particular case, we didn't clear one of the goblins in the room, and I accidentally aggroed it during the boss fight. Also regarding this dungeon, one important point is every time you kill the boss, the patrol will spawn at the back of at the entrance, basically at the dungeon, and will go towards basically the next room. In most cases, you can just ignore this mechanic. But if you're going really slowly, or you decide to like take a break in AFK for several minutes as a group, just be wary of that this patrol will come and you will have to fight it. So it's better to go with a certain pace. Again, if you are within the recommended levels, I really don't see the scenario where this patrol will catch up to you. In most cases, you can just ignore that. Once you clear the corridor, you will get into the next room with the boss. There are also like a lot of goblins here, craftsmen and engineers. When you pull engineers, they will do a cast of summoning the golem. And they also, all of these goblins, they will try to run away when on low HP. So be sure to nuke them down before they run away to aggro more mobs. When you clear the room, you can pull the boss. It's usually pulled with one craftsman, because it just stands near it. Again, boss is pretty much tank and spank, he just does one ability on your tank, and that's pretty much it. You shouldn't really have any issues bringing him down. After that boss, you're gonna run to the gates, where you need to either shoot the cannon, or if you have the rogue can lockpick it. If you don't have the rogue and you need to shoot it, you need to pick up the powder here in the small appendix, like when I'm showing it on the minimap currently. One advantage for using the rogue and not blasting it, if you blast it, there's gonna be a wave of mobs coming at you. And so here on the docks and on the boat, mobs are quite high level. They are like level 19 and level 20. Also, there are some casters. So you have like a pirates with the parrots. They don't really do anything. I think they just do like a cleave or something. Mages, on the other hand, they use Fire Blast, and they can also Frost Nova. In general, in this part of the dungeon, your tank will from time to time be hit quite hard. So if you're healing, definitely be on your guard, and if you're tanking, also expect that you're gonna take some damage. When you get closer to the ship, you will pull the next boss, and it will spawn two adds right away, and be sure to nuke them down first. You need to bring them down before you do any significant damage on the boss, because boss will stun your whole group when he reaches around 2/3 of his HP, I believe. By the way, we're tanking the boss here near the chest, which I would not recommend, to be honest. During like the second stun, boss will pick up the ability from the chest and will hit the tank hard. Like I'm gonna get chunked here in a second. Pretty heavy hit, but it's also one hit, so it's not the end of the world. I decided to pop the potion just in case here. In general, it's pretty safe, and apart from that strike, the boss doesn't really do anything. So here when you get to the ship, you can either go right, straight to the last boss, and then jump down and do the cookie. Cookie is just the Morlock that is on the ship as well, or you can turn left, kill a couple mobs, kill Cookie, and then go to the last boss. It's completely up to you. So here on the ship, be sure to pull slowly. When you approach this area, it's better to pull the mobs back and keep an eye on mobs that are upstairs, that they are not pulled. And especially if you're range, be very careful with what mobs are you targeting. So once you get closer to the actual ship, you get up, you're gonna see this patrol. This is the next boss that patrols on the deck with 2 adds. If you have low levels at your party, be extremely careful because they're gonna have higher aggro range and they can easily pull. So if that's the case, if you have people like below level 20, I would actually recommend to pull in all of these mobs that we're currently attacking, to pull them down, and only after you clear all of these mobs actually proceed further. If you decide to do the same as we did here, just also be careful. Do not come closer to the actual deck of the ship, because if you pull this boss with all of these adds, that's gonna be painful. Also, what you can do in this scenario, if that does happen, there isn't a reset spot. If you go here, like I will move my cam, there is a wheel, like giant wheel. It is a reset spot and you can jump on it. So if that happens, you can just jump there and reset the whole thing. So the mobs have 2 regular adds and the parrot. You can pretty much ignore the parrot and just attack one of the mobs. In this case, we marked the pirate with the skull. I would actually prefer to kill the Squall Shaper, who is the caster first, then bring down the pirate and then the boss himself, because Squall Shapers, the mages, they do way more damage than the pirates, because they just casting and it's kind of a bursty damage. Other than that, again, boss is very, very simple. Again, before pulling the last boss, obviously let your healer drink. Boss will summon 2 adds. You need to bring them down as quickly as possible here. And while you're doing that, try to not cleave the boss too much, because he will summon second set of adds at 50%. So ideally, before he hits 50%, your group should be topped off, and you should be prepared for the second adds. Now, as for the second adds, it's completely up to you how you're gonna approach that. You can try to burst down the boss and then deal with the adds. They will not despawn, by the way, after you kill the boss, so you'll have to kill all 3. Or you can just mark one with the skull, bring him down, then kill the boss, and then the second add. I think this is the more safer route. And then if you didn't kill the cookie, you can just jump down on the other side of the ship and kill him. Again, cookie is just tank and spank. Group will take some damage, but it's very minor. And after that, you can exit the dungeon and turn in your quests. That's gonna be it. I hope this video will help you to stay alive in the Deadmines. Thank you very much for watching. Please drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video about Shadowfang Keep.